Welcome to the Can You Hear Blue podcast, and in this first episode, I'll be sharing a bit of my background, the reason why I started this podcast, and the meaning behind the title, as well as my interests and hobbies like sports and video games, and how I grew up into them, also with church and many other niche things. So wherever you are listening in from, whatever you are doing right now, join me in the next 30 minutes as I get to share a bit of my life, and hopefully for you to get to know me and this podcast a bit better. So, to start off, my name is DJ, which stands for Daniel John, which are the names my parents gave me from inspiration from the Bible, Daniel the Prophet, and either John the Baptist or John the Disciple. I was born here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm 21 years old. I was born into a loving Filipino family, loving parents, and two amazing older sisters. And yeah, I've been here in Winnipeg all my life. Um, I wouldn't see it any other way. I've thought about moving other places, but I think staying here is something I'd want to do in the future. So to start about this podcast and why I started it, I started this podcast because I didn't really like editing videos. Like I tried to get into YouTube, but it just wasn't my thing. Like I didn't have the time, or I wasn't I didn't have a good program to edit videos or anything that I was happy or good at. And then in terms of streaming, reason why I don't stream is because I can't gauge a live audience. It's not like something I could do, and I don't seeing myself doing in the near future. And why I like podcasts so much is I could talk about essentially anything, especially when I have so much hobbies and like interests to talk about, bring friends along, bring family along to talk about anything. And I love having those one-on-ones with people or three people with guests so we can talk about anything. In terms of the title, Can You Hear Blue? Uh I like it. It's why I chose it for this podcast. The Can You Hear part is obviously because you're hearing podcasts, and then my favorite color is blue. So then trying to tie those together, it's an abstract meaning which could mean anything, which is what this podcast is about. We can talk about anything. And in terms of release dates for this podcast, I would say every Saturday, hopefully. So the day you're listening it right now, and hopefully next week there's gonna be another episode with a guest. So stay tuned for that one. In terms of structure for the podcast, there's no real theme, like overall aspect of like a season or all the episodes. Basically, if I could find a topic to talk about, then I can share it with you guys either alone or have a guest over to have a mutual topic. Moving on to interests and hobbies, it's probably easy to talk about the ones on your screen, like the ones I have on the side. To start off, I guess with sweaters, since I live in Winnipeg, wearing sweaters is very very important, with 3/4 of the season being cold. And I don't know, I really like the laid back fit, like just chilling or just casual. And it's so funny because in middle school or like elementary, I've always liked zippered hoodies. It's just because it's so easy to just unzip if you feel too hot, or zip up if you feel cold. But now I've transitioned to the hoodies, which I really like because it's plain, it's easy to wear anywhere. Wherever you go, it's just it fits, right? And then in terms of the sports, you can see like there's so many different sports on the screen. I'll start off with basketball, especially with the league that we played here, or that was I guess introduced here in Winnipeg. And I played in that league and in some community leagues as well. Um, it's so there's a story here where I think it was grade one, where I did the tryout, right? Because most of my cousins and my family wanted me to get into basketball. So then we tried out for this away league, And then I turned out to be teammates with a classmate, which turned out to be my best friend in the near future, which is pretty cool, I guess. We used to talk about all the time in class, how to improve, how to be better teammates, how to be a better player. Pretty cool story there. I played basketball until grade 5. Um, I did in elementary. We did the lunch sports, so then whenever basketball was in the season, we would play that. Among other sports there too. We would have floor hockey, soccer, and then either volleyball or baseball. I can't recall what the fourth sport was, but it's one of those two, or it could be another one. Completely forgot. And those lunch sports, or what we call intramurals, I started in grade 3, and from there all the way up to grade 6. The reason why I stopped or left basketball is because I wanted to transition into hockey. I wanted to be different, I guess. Starting with ball hockey, obviously, because I didn't know how to skate back then yet. I wanted to get into hockey because there was rumors with the Winnipeg Jets coming back. I think that 2011, right? And then played ball hockey from then, and then basically whenever I wanted to. Back in 2011, I played in 4 years straight. I guess all the way to grade 7, right? I think it's grade 7. And then in grade 7, which is funny because I was homeroom or like classmates with someone I played against before, which I didn't realize at first, but then I'm like, hey, this guy looks familiar. And so yeah, we talked about that. And then the spring, um, going into the summer, like still in grade 7, before the school year ended, the both of us had a group of 14 that wanted to become teammates for the upcoming season, but the league split us up. So then we were basically like two teams, but we were two of the best teams. And then I would play in an adult league back in 2021, which was okay. There was like none of us. Literally the first game, there was exactly 6 of us, which was very hard to do. And after ball hockey, I played ice hockey. I started getting skating lessons back in grade 6, grade 7. But I played ice hockey in the most lowest division ever. A3 is what they call it here in Canada. I tried out, and then in high school I tried out for a small tournament that our school was attending, and the first practice I did was not good, and I called it quits right away because my back was sore. I didn't know how to. My skating wasn't that good. But with all these sports, the reason why I like them is because I like being competitive, having that adrenaline and the verge of winning or losing, and having that camaraderie against or amongst teammates. Sorry. And other school sports that started in elementary school, basically when I fell in love with sports is during elementary. One of them is soccer. Those are one of the lunch school sports we had in grade 4, grade 5. Joining a local community soccer league. Um, I think I only played like 3 to 4 games, and the reason why I left, well, I didn't leave. It's just my team didn't send me a schedule, so I didn't know when the next games were. So that's the end of soccer there and community league. But back at school, in grade 5, there was an inter-school competition which we participated, and we became rivalries with this other school, which is hilarious because soccer wouldn't be the only sport that we see them in. So then every time we see the school, we like I guess like not like mock them or anything, but just talking about it, how our two schools are basically rivals. I don't know if they saw us that way, but we saw them that way for sure. With baseball, during gym class, we would play t-ball, where the ball would stand on like a tee, and then we would just bat it out from there, no pitcher. We would use a foam bat and a foam ball inside the gym, and our gym was very very small. It was tiny. So I would always hit the ball at the back wall where most couldn't. I know some could, but most couldn't. Um, in baseball, we also had a inter-school sport where we saw a rival school again, but I cannot recall um how it went down. I just remember going. I just don't remember any of the events. And then in grade 6, where our graduation year, we had a end of the year students versus teachers game, where I hit a long ball, which a very cool achievement of mine. And then transitioning into middle school, we had like post school activity called slow pitch, or like a team, I guess. I was one of the captains alongside my hockey teammate, which I talked about earlier. I remember pulling a temper tantrum because no one was listening. And then I think it was grade 8 or grade 9 where we had a tournament just near my house, or like a baseball diamond, and it was chill. It was fun. Most of us didn't know the rules. We played against this one guy, this try-hard dude, who was mad at us for no reason, and he got a triple play on us, where he caught a fly ball, tagged the guy at second, and then threw the ball at first, which and then he stared our bullpen down while he was going back to his, which I don't really get. I don't know why he was mad at us. I still think about it to this day. Hopefully, I'll have a guest to talk about that, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who saw that. But other sports I play during, I guess, elementary, football. We would play football during recess, and I'll say that I was a beast quarterback. Like I was throwing on a dime. I was crazy. And then we played this tag game with my friends. I've I don't know the name for it, or I've never seen people play it. But it's where there's two teams on the opposite sides of the field. Each team would choose one player to be the it person, or like the person who can't get tagged, and then you would win if that person that can't get tagged reaches to the other end, or like you get a point if they reach to the other end, and then obviously if you're not that it person, you would have to tag the other opponent's it person. So that game was pretty cool. It was one of my friends who came up with that. I'm not sure if there's a name for it, but I want to see that game in action, because it's like a mix between like tag and football. So it was pretty cool playing it back then. And then volleyball. In grade 5, or grade 6, our gym teacher took us to watch a university men's volleyball game. At the time, we didn't understand what volleyball. The way we played volleyball back then was we played catch volleyball. So then every time they throw it over the net, we would catch it, throw it to someone else, and then throw it. We used like a very big ball, like one of those I guess those balls you work out with at a gym. Those balls are the ones that we used. But watching volleyball, that university game, was still pretty sick. We had a good time. And then in middle school, I started to become serious about volleyball. Joined the tier 1 team in grade 7. We had practices in the morning when it was still dark. And then grade 8, we did tryouts, and I was demoted to tier 2, even though I knew I could have been better. Which, to my surprise, I have no idea why. Even my friends told me I should have been in tier 1. No, that's moving past now. And then in grade 9, yeah, me demoting threw me off, and it also conflicted with my hockey schedule at that time. And then with volleyball still, I have a good friend from church who enjoys talking about volleyball whenever the topic arises. And then I would still play volleyball every so often, maybe at like a park or a beach or at the gym. And to this day, I wanna join a rec league. We're not really that competitive, but to play it. I don't really know how to spike, but I know how to receive and like set. So I really want to join a rec league. That is something I want to do. And also with volleyball, maybe some of you guys know the anime Haikyuu, which made me like volleyball even more. That's why I do want to join a rec league. That was one of the sports animes that I really joined on. Like the only anime that I enjoyed, because I don't really watch anime a lot. I would also watch Kuroko and Ace of Diamond, which are other sports animes. So you can see a running theme here. I didn't really watch it because I was a Westerner. I would watch like the Western kids shows like Street Life on Deck, Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana, and stuff like that. So I didn't really watch I didn't watch anime growing up. I watched Beyblade though, if that counts, because it showed up on cable. And right now, I guess the anime I'm watching is One Piece because most of my friends are watching it, but it's a really slow build. I started like a month and a half ago, and I'm only on episode 24 out of like 1,000. So I'll get there. I'll get there. Moving on to church. I attend a family-owned church where my family are one of four families that started this church. I have many family cousins and family friends who attend. I was baptized in September of 2014. I love God, I love Jesus, and I want to learn more and more every day, learning about Him, learning about the Word, and just my salvation in general. And I want to use this platform to share His Word. And although I'm into so many things, passionate with a few like sports or video games, stuff like that, God is my one and true top passion. In terms of what I do at the church, I am the sound system coordinator. I basically fix or mix the sound with the band, either where the congregation can hear or our live stream can hear. And I also play the guitar, either acoustic or electric, every so often on Sundays as well. Some of my niche hobbies, keyboards. I got into keyboards because of my friends. The first keyboard I had was a Corsair K70, which is the keyboard of my dreams. Like before I got it, that is the one keyboard that I wanted to get. But now I use the EpoMaker 84 with Acco lavender switches and hopefully the GMK Lazurite keycaps that are coming soon. I'm also into cubing. I was given a Rubik's Cube. I think it was in grade 2. And I was just so fascinated about it. I really wanted to solve it as fast as I can, which I managed to able to solve it, but in the most beginner's way possible. It was not until grade 7 I learned CFOP, which is the most recommended method to solve a Rubik's Cube the fastest. But I only use just a handful amount of OLL and PLL algorithms. I still don't know all of it, which is why I'm still slow. I wanna try to solve it faster, but it's just so much memories, or like things to memorize with all the algorithms. Back then I would watch all the famous cubers like Felix, Max Park, Volk, and then YouTubers like JPerm, me, myself, and Pi. I would watch them nonstop every day, trying to learn more and more about how to be faster at cubing. Now I have a Rubik's Cube on my desk whenever I want to fidget, so I don't forget how to solve it. I'm also into board games. I don't remember when I was first introduced into board games. All I remember is playing categories with my cousins every time we get together. How to play. I have funny stories with categories where how you play is you're given like questions or like basically categories, and then we roll a dice what letter each answer has to start with. So then my one cousin, he would get double points because he would use double letters of the same. Like we rolled an M, and then each answer he put my man, which makes sense to each category, which we were surprised with. So then there was 10 questions, and this guy, my cousin, got 20 points, which is hilarious, and it's still like an insider with us today. And I also remember where we rolled a G, and he used green in each one and made sense to each one as well. I would guess my dad got me into board games early, like kindergarten early. Got me into chess and checkers, and we would play like card games and stuff like that. And then one day I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw this video by the channel of Geek and Sundry, called Tabletop, hosted by Will Wheaton, and I fell in love with board games that instant. I would watch most of the videos, if not all the videos of all their board games, and now I own so many. I own like Catan, Risk, Ticket to Ride, Deception, Codenames. I own most of the well-known board games now, and it's a hobby that I enjoy playing with family and friends. I remember because our church would go on a retreat. Um, Back then, every summer, we would play Risk at night, and I remember playing a 4-hour Risk game, and it was a grind. And I don't know who won, but it was definitely fun. It was definitely fun at the time. Going to board game or video game, sorry. Um, I have a long history with video games. The first ever video game I played was Spyro the Dragon when I was being babysat by my aunt. I think we went to their family friends, and then she took care of the three of us. It was me, my cousin, and then family friends. I think son or daughter. But yeah, I played Spyro the Dragon for the first time, or like my first video game ever. Um, and then we had a Game Boy here in this family. I just don't know who gave it to me. I think it's one of my sisters, but it was a blue or purple one. I can't remember, but I remember playing games like Galaga, Dig Dug, or this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that I played like constantly. During elementary, I would sleep over at my cousins, like during the summer, or even when I have free time during the weekend. On my mom's side, we would play GameCube all day, playing Mario Kart and Mario Party. On my dad's side, we would play 2K, Guitar Hero, Madden, and COD. And then even my neighbors, I would go over. We would play Ghost Recon, Halo, Blitz, which is like a football game, and COD 2. Or like COD as well. And then in either in grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3, I remember my parents bought a Wii, and I would play that almost every day. Back then, I would play Wii Sports, Wii Fit, Wii Music, which is a game that I really miss. Mario Super Sluggers, which is one of the best campaigns I've ever played. Mario Kart Wii, and so many other games that I played there as well. And in grade 6, I moved on to PS3, which came with the MW3. I think right 2011, yeah, 2011 or 2010, maybe 2011. But I had the time of my life playing this game called Modern Warfare 3. I made so many friends. I played such a weird way because I would do ninja diffuses, I would get Moabs, or the infected game mode, or the face off game modes, which is like the 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s. I had such a fun time playing that game with so many people. And I guess to talk about COD, it's Modern Warfare 2 2022 beta right now, and I'm contemplating on whether I'm getting it. Because Modern Warfare 2 obviously was one of the best games of COD ever, and I really want to experience that again. I want to play COD again. I haven't played COD since Modern Warfare 2019, and before that was World War 2. Before that it was Advanced Warfare, so I haven't played COD in a while, and I want to see how I play this game, or like the new stuff, Warzone 2. That one's free, so then I'm happy. I can't wait to play that. I think the beta's in like September 24 to 26, so hopefully I have some friends to play COD with, and if not, still gonna play it. See if I enjoy it. And seeing how Infinity Ward their pattern. So they released Modern Warfare in 2019, Modern Warfare 2 in 2022, and then maybe MW3 in 2025. If that happens, I'm definitely getting MW3. So I played MW3 mostly every day until Black Ops 2 came out. I would play that sometimes. I didn't really. It's not a game. It was a good game, very very good game. It was very fun, but then I still preferred MW3 over it. But other games on my PS3, I would play NHL, Madden, Plants vs Zombies, Minecraft with friends, but not as much as Modern Warfare 3. And then that was grade 6. Moving on to grade 8, I would get my first PC, but it was a pre-built one, but it still ran well. That's when I started to play League and CS:GO. At the time, CS:GO is all I played. 5-stacking with friends. Just being competitive in that game. My competitiveness coming from traditional sports. Enjoyed that game very, very much. Having different 5-stacks, having different people, playing with different people. On PC, I would also play Overwatch, Town of Salem, and all those games back in 2015, 2016. And then now I have my new PC. Well, not technically new anymore, but I built this PC in 2020, a couple of months before Riot's Project A, aka Valorant, that was released. And now that's all we play is we play Valorant with my group of friends. We would 5 stack as well. I wanted to be so competitive in this game, like try to be in a pro scene, but um, I never had the willpower or the time to do it. When I play CS:GO and Valorant with my friends, I would normally be the IGL, which stands for in-game leader, and I don't know how I was brought into this role. I guess we needed someone, or back in CS we just needed someone to shot call or like tell us where to go. So I was that person, and then it translated into Valorant where, I kind of do a scouting report on our team too, like just rewatching VODs or seeing which maps we've won, what agents to play, especially. I enjoy that role very much, and I'm so happy I have friends to do that with. And this isn't the end of Valorant in my podcast, by the way, because I think next week, um, I'll bring a friend of mine to talk about Valorant in general, the whole esports scene, and yeah, I'm excited for that episode. I can't wait to record that with my friend. What I played recently, I guess last year or January, was Lost Ark. I mentioned this because this is the first MMORPG that I really engaged in, that I really enjoyed. Because other MMORPGs, I didn't really enjoy it, or like it wasn't my thing. But then after playing Lost Ark, it was such a good game. The storyline was great, the gameplay was great, and playing all of Riot's games, I can't wait for Riot's MMO. That game's gonna be exciting. And then now I just play Valorant every time my friends are on TFT, and the new F1 Manager game that was released on Steam. I've been playing that a lot because I've gotten into F1 recently, last summer or last year. Yeah, expect me to expand on sports video games, especially esports and the teams that I watch in future episodes, because these are two things that I enjoy watching and as well doing. So yeah, coming to the end of this podcast, just make sure to follow me on social medias. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You can see them on your screen right now. And then if you're on YouTube, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And then wherever you're listening, whether this is on Spotify, Apple, or even on YouTube. And if you enjoyed this video, share it to your friends, family, and hopefully spark conversations between them, you, and I. And really appreciate that if you were to do that. And I thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. My background, all my interests, all the stories I had with sports and video games. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.